And like I said, there's the bigger we get, we got more people coming at us. People are going to try to do bad things to us no matter what because they don't want us to succeed.
Is we grew up so fast that we got so much attention, and you're not allowed to, in the corrupted market, you're not allowed to go fast. You're not allowed to pop out of nowhere and help people change their life. You're not allowed to do that.
My name is Ashton Potter, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way. I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello, everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fantastic, amazing day. Today, we're going to be having a little bit of fun where we are going to be, well, I hope we have fun every day over here, but we're going to be looking at scammer and cult hypocrisy. There's been a lot of it going around. I've already covered some here with Marty and Chris talking about VYB, which is another multi-level marketing company that just started to launch, I guess you could say, started their pre-launch in January and is allegedly going to be launching on February 17th. And Engineer Mike and Dr. Benny, and I'm sure lots of other people that we just aren't aware of yet, have joined VYB from OnPassive. Now, according to the VYB back office, Engineer Mike has signed up 111 people, but none of them, I don't believe, or less than 13 of them, we can say for sure, have paid the $25 buy-in for VYB. And since Marty and Chris, all right, since Marty and Chris have been watching us, and we know that they watch myself and the Recovering Unbought, I guess they must have found out. So for the last week, they've been talking about VYB and other opportunities, and my community has been losing their minds with the hypocrisy of everything that they are saying. And it got really bad a couple days ago when they did yet another live stream that ended up being over an hour long, because a good 40 minutes of it or so was them just kind of warning their community not to get scammed, which is the irony of the year so far. So I thought that we would watch a little clip of their live stream. I have gathered both Marty and Chris discussing this. I have taken out a lot of the praying that happened in between, just because we don't need to hear that. After they talk about VYB and try to warn their community to not get scammed, they kind of just went on to playing videos and doing their usual stuff. And honestly, a lot of people are getting kind of fed up of Marty and Chris doing the exact same speech every single day on their channel. So we're just kind of covering when something crazy happens at this time, because it is pretty much the exact same thing, rinse and repeat every single day, just with some different words. And then they might play a new video every day where Marty decides to do illegal income claims in every country around the world. That's basically what it is. So I guess you could say a couple days ago, they went live, like I said, and they kind of went off a little bit. You know, they were very, very passionate about people not joining this. Alves is in it to scam it, as always. We have Angel here. Good to see you. And Mr. Level is here. I was like, oh, wow. We have Albs and Mr. Level back with us right now in the same stream. It must be a great day. Something good must be in the air. It's been a while. And people miss you when you're not around. They say, where's Albs? Where's Mr. Level? Where's the in it to scam it? Where's the singing at the end of the stream, Queen? Where is it? They get very upset at me, even in the comment section sometimes. They're like, the outro just isn't the same. Or, we have to begin every stream with Alb saying in it to scam it, or else it's just not right. And Violet is here, and she gives us the hello, lovely bimbos and bimbros, which I love. And Nev says, let's spill the Onfusion tea like that. And Joe is here. He's finally catching alive, which is good. And Chuck is awake for this one, which maybe you shouldn't be, Chuck. If you need to go to bed, go to bed. Nasir is here, and he says, my dream on passive. I love you, Mr. Ash, sir. Love you too. Love. Wait, did you just tell him that you loved him and then answer for him? Is that what happened here? Awesome. I love that. We're just conversing with ourselves now. Hello, Jelly Snack. Good to see you as well. Your dream on Pacific. I saw somebody else post something very similar to that on Facebook yesterday. I was like, oh no, they spelt it wrong. And then someone in my comment section was writing a bunch of I love OnPassive comments under several of my most recent streams and videos. They went to town. They wrote 10 comments on the last 10 videos. And in 2 of the comments, they spelled OnPassive like this. And I was like, well, you don't want Tanya to see that. We better not show her. Wes is here. Hey, everyone. I had to pop in to tell you all that Marty farted on live. That's awesome. That's awesome. He also scratches his back on live and blows his nose often on live. It's beautiful. Gotta love it. And Sherry is here. Good to see you. Good to see you. And I saw that Sherry, I can't find the comment, but you asked me what there it is. What does VYB sell? VYB is planning on selling an ecosystem. VYB is planning on selling an ecosystem full of products that will help you run your business. Things such as VYB Tribe, which is a community. They also claim they're going to have like an education platform. They're going to be selling merch. Oh yeah, great fun. Great fun. Very similar, which is kind of the main point of this stream today, is the similarities. We've kind of already talked about it, but today we're going to really talk about the hypocrisy of this. Hello, Chelsea. Good to see you. I'm glad that you could be here. And John is here. Yay! When doesn't Marty fart on his lives, right? He's probably farting the whole time. He just has it muted mostly. You know? Just has it muted mostly. I know. I really cannot tell you that without I really couldn't. I tried. Because it's just so ironic and bizarre, which of course brings me to what we're doing today. Very ironic and bizarre.
Up to happen right now, but I'll tell you what, for me and many of you, there's things out there, and I mean, without a doubt, I could go out and we could market and do something on our own, and nobody in OnPassive would know it. That's marketing, okay? But I want to tell you,
I love how Marty now has decided that he is a professional marketer. Like I know everything about marketing. I am such a good marketer that me and Dan and Mike, we could market something to you and you wouldn't even know that we're marketing. Yeah, and then we could make millions of dollars off of you guys and you wouldn't even know. And I'm like, really? Go on. Do tell us more.
you weigh all the pros and cons. And here's the main thing for me. I'm going to tell you personally how I feel. Not about any certain company, because I know I've seen them all, even the new ones. I've researched them. I looked at them. I checked them out from internally. Here's my thing.
Okay.
A man, a family for 7 years. This is the 7th year.
Uh-huh.
Did so much. I'm going to talk to you personally from my experience. Did so much for me and my family. The potential's off the chart.
But this is what I mean. So he may have done a lot for you and your family because, again, you're positioned at the top of this thing. And you claim to be friends with Ash Mufar. So Ash maybe is giving you a bunch of money on the side, right, Marty? Because he's done a lot for you and your family. As we've already exposed, you were getting paid to promote this thing for a long time. So he's doing a lot for you and your family. But the average O founder who joined this thing does not get paid $8,000 a month to promote it, nor are they even close enough to Ash where they talk to him ever. Like they only talk to him when he goes live with you guys. So when you're sitting there saying, oh, he's done so much for me and my family, again, that's only your personal experience. I have to look at this thing from the eyes of someone who would join it, like June 2022, which was the last time that you were able to sign up in this thing. Ash stopped the registrations June 2022. The person that signed up June 2022, the average person in this, right? Again, doesn't know Ash, is not getting paid under the table to promote this. Does not have this huge team of people from 20 years of failing MLM experience that they brought over into this. So your personal experience here is not the typical personal experience. And you have a very hard time seeing outside of yourself and seeing this from the eyes of those people. And that's why they write you with their woes and their sorrows and the things that they're going through. And that's why they're upset, because they haven't gotten any of that. You want them to be grateful for 95 O coin and the ability to use O Connect for like 9 months, which you claim is for free, but then you also claim that a bunch of people bought it. So I don't, like, that's all that people have gotten out of this. And then some community and you guys praying for them and webinars they can go to. So for the people that have only gotten that from this, like, they're gonna get upset. Nothing's been delivered. It's not at all the same. Balb says he doesn't even know what marketing is. You don't need a team to market. Samsung is releasing the S25 soon. I have an S24. I'm getting marketed to from every angle. No one is trying to get me to sell Samsung phone. Samsung has a marketing team. Their job is to sell me a phone, not to get me to sign up my friends and family to sell phones. And here's the thing is that marketing, people go to university for 4 years or college for 2 years. I believe we have like a business marketing program that you can take at college, which is in between community college and university here in Canada. Like there's community college and trade school, and then there's college, which is kind of hands-on university, and then there's university, and that's like how the education system goes here. So here you can go and get a 2-year marketing diploma degree, or you can go and get a bachelor's in marketing, which would then be like 4 years at a uni. And then of course you get like your master's, etc. So it's I hate it when people that don't have the experience and the education just kind of call themselves these things. And again, it's not like Marty's been working for an actual corporation on their marketing team, doing real ads. Like he's just on the internet doing ads with Canva and stock images with spelling errors in them for an MLM that's been called a fraudulent pyramid scheme by the SEC. And then he goes, yeah, I'm a marketer now. It's like, no. That's insulting to everyone that works in that entire field. Please do not do that. Like, just don't do that. I hate it when they do this. It's the same with like Punique, and them calling themselves makeup artists. Like people go to beauty school for that. Here it's like a 2 to 3 year program again at a college where you got to go to uni for that. So no, you don't just join a makeup MLM and then become a makeup artist. Like that's not how that works. Like it just drives me nuts. Hey, Mark B. Hey. Catching up just now. Ella says hi, but about to go out and meet up with some friends. She has more friends than I do. Yeah. I have more friends than my husband, too, I think. That makes sense. But it's okay. Go hang out with the friends. That sounds fun. But you're not a professional. It's not at all the same to market an MLM company you're a part of and then to be a marketer.
A lot of us, me, are stuck a certain place in our life where we really can't go further with different things in our life, whether you want to bless somebody or you want to help other people because of the income. There's so much income, and there's no possible way I could go back to work and double my income. That's just not going to happen. And most of you,
again, are you making income? You were making some extra income in this thing that the other people weren't making. Imagine being in this thing. You haven't gotten paid in 7 years and you were promised payment like 7 years ago. It's happening any day now. And then this is the speech that Marty gives you.
Not just you, but I'm talking for the whole world that goes online. Most of you have been looking for ways to do that. Some for 5 months, some for 5 years, some for 20 years. And to have an opportunity for some family, for me, to go out.
No, it doesn't. And it's a funny thing that you say that, because I was just kind of thinking in my head, like, I've been covering scams and cults for 6 years. Almost like a full-time job on here. And I wouldn't even consider myself to be like some kind of expert in scams or cults. Do I know a lot about the topic? Yes. Do I enjoy covering it? Yes. But would I consider myself to be some kind of like expert in it? No. I feel like we're all learning about it together. You know? And it's just kind of a funny thing to think about.
And spend 7 days a week, millions of dollars, sacrificing time. We know that at the very least, here's the thing I'm saying.
It was like, Marty, we had a problem with the chair, not the rest of your background.
When all that's done, truly then, I will have once in a lifetime opportunity at 65 years old. Because then the door is unlocked for me and my family to go places I would never have gone before. Sounds like Star Trek, but I mean it. If I could be a little more callous and could get in, I'll give you an example. I can go to eBay right now. This is actually true. I've done it.
Okay.
Buy a script, any script. I could buy a script for from cryptocurrency to safe list to traffic exchanges to selling books or whatever, because they're already coded to do a minimum of what you would need to make a few bucks. I did it. I made a traffic exchange. It was a nice one. What I had to do though is I had to hire somebody to do the graphics. It wasn't that much money. In fact, I'm going to tell you the truth. Some of the businesses that I've seen, their script or their guts of their website is a joke.
Oh,
what you got to do then is you got to go, for example.
You don't say.
I found a lady in California and she put together the graphics for my website. And she also had her own hosting company. And I paid a whopping, what was it, $10 a month. And it would hold X amount of people and whatever function was done inside the website. And like I said, the website, you can get the script from eBay or anywhere. There's a place, it doesn't matter. So you could build a little business. If you're half decent at marketing, will it last? No. But that's not what's going on.
I know, because all of the other companies, their websites are shit.
Do it to bring in, sometimes it's done to bring in massive amount of money. And a few people will do very, 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 very well. Me being the owner would, if I could get in those as an affiliate, we could. The problem is, if you know that up front, then there's no other way to paint this turd than a turd. I'm taking advantage of people.
Oh,
I just am. Now they'll have. I remember in one script I bought, they have a company called Fiverr. They'll do all the graphics and everything. $20, $30. It's nothing. You can host your own website for pennies, very little a month, and you can make it look unbelievable. Boom, 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 boom. But you can also look at the guts of it. You could take a website, and they'll make posters for you. They'll make slides.
I like how Marty is explaining to us how we could do this for cheaper than what OnPassive is apparently going to sell this to us for in future.
Show presentation, and some of them are they make you go, whoa, this is what I've been looking for. Well, trust me, it looks good, but it's not long term. And you won't be able to bring, you might even make a little money, but the time frame for you to make a little money will not outlast how long the website will even be up.
Oh, funny you say that. Well, OnPassive doesn't really have a website. You just have a login page. Didn't your website go down in June of 2024?
Because if it sounds too good to be true, once the authorities start going after it, because you're investing, it's an investment. And the investment, I mean, you put in $10 and you're expecting to get out X amount. That's where the problem lies. And then anytime you get a percentage for recruiting, be careful, because that's a red flag. Now.
Okay. All right. Except all you're doing in OnPassive so far had been recruiting. And now you can't even do that and haven't been able to do that again since June of 2022. So is that not a red flag?
Do you get customer volume? Well, a lot of companies do it. Dan Street was telling me about the one he was in. He would have other people that did what he did, and he'd get a small percentage of their volume. He didn't get paid because they joined. He got paid because of what they produced. But be careful the ones where automatically, like if I bring Chris in, I get 10% right off the get-go, if that's what they say. Just be careful of that because that's not, it's not long-term. I just want to tell you, look, be careful because if there is something out there and it's unbelievably, supposedly, I want to make a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
I would see it.
Oh, yeah?
And I've looked at everything so far. Everything that's come by or somebody said or whatever, I've gone to different.
Now he's also a professional when it comes to what businesses online are decent. You know, he's a professional MLMer. He wants you to take his advice on this.
Areas and watched it. And so, because I'm not just a pretty face. I can go watch and get in anywhere I want to get. And what I've seen.
Yes, but right now, they have only promised 25% off the sale of the products. I will give them that. They were not paying people just to recruit. So, and this is why I'm like, listen, nobody has made money in this. Because the $97 buy-in that everyone was paying between like 2018 and June of 2022, all of that money just went in Ash's pocket. That's where the $108 million came from. So they weren't going to make commission on that. But they are supposed to be making 25% commission allegedly on the sale of their products. The issue is they released their products. They didn't have a merchant. So nobody could really buy the products and nobody was going to get paid commission. And it was supposed to be 100% commission off their first sale. But they all bought it off of like themselves, essentially, right? The O Connect, if they were able to buy it, because there was weird window times when the merchants would be working. And according to them, some people did end up buying it. And so what happened was the merchant, since, you know, they weren't good with them anymore, they kind of shut them off and was like, no, we're not going to be accepting any more payments. We're not going to be giving any more money out. Enough is enough. So then they were kind of stuck in this standstill of, okay, now we have O Connect and we're supposed to sell it and be able to buy it, but we can't because we don't have a merchant. So they went, well, we'll let everyone use the O Connect for free. And then they claimed that Ash was paying out of pocket so that everyone could use the O Connect for free. And then their website went down in June of 2024. The O Connect came out September of 2023. So it wasn't even around for a full year. And it was gone. When the website went down, all the products disappeared. When the website went up on October 4th, all that went up was the ecosystem. And it's kind of like a skeletal version of the OnPassive ecosystem. So they've lost their website. When you went to OnPassive.com, it used to tell you what they did and what products they were going to sell and all this bullshit about AI. And you used to be able to read through the frequently asked questions that nobody asked and etc. Right? So nobody ever made 25%. And since they bought it off themselves, I never understood how that worked, because they claimed that since all they had to do was buy it this one time, and then they would get 100% commission back, and then they would never have to buy it again. But it was like, okay, but you're buying it from yourself because nobody has a team. They tell each other that they're all just on the same level, which I don't think that's true either. Right? There'd have to be different levels in this MLM. You know, like the people that you recruit are supposed to go under you as your downline. They're not supposed to go alongside you. So, like, this whole thing just doesn't have a business plan. It doesn't even have a structure, business structure. I can't explain to you how these commissions were supposed to be paid. Like, since they bought the O Connect, is whoever signed them up, like, do they get the 100% commission? Or how does that work? You know what I mean? Like, none of that was ever explained. It was just like, you have to buy the product in order to make the commission off the product. If you don't buy the product and you sold it, you only got O coins. So to get money that you could take out of the account, you had to buy the product. But then they claim that you can convert the O coins into dollars. So then they had to have two different wallets. And it was just very convoluted. And none of it made sense. And none of it was really put in writing that was a decent document. There was not really a legal document signed. There was kind of an affiliate agreement NDA thing that everyone had to sign to log into the back office, but it wasn't legally binding, and it didn't even fully explain this. No business structure at all. Like, it didn't explain when you recruit someone, they go under you, and they'll get this percentage, and you get paid for this many levels. They used to have a 3x10 matrix, but they took that away and then started going, we're not MLM anymore. And that was weird. Who do we know that has joined VYB already? Engineer Mike and Dr. Betty. Dr. Betty was seen on a Zoom call, and Engineer Mike has 111 people who signed up under him, not paid. A woman named Rosemary and this dude named Bistrick has a lot of paid people under him. And there is also a Michael Williams on the leaderboard, but we're unclear if it is our Michael Williams AIM, as that it can be a pretty common name, but it wouldn't be that bizarre because he does know Engineer Mike quite well. So I'm like, really hope not, but you know. I schooled Marty about the New Zealand Commission. Yes, we saw that. Just finished my free non-MLM senior exercise and watching the two others that should join me, Marty and Chris. So I'm on catch-up. Good to see you, Go-Go. Yeah, I wonder if Marty is tempted to join VYB. Maybe. Hello, Stricardo, but it does have endless humanity. And you wonder if Marty is tempted to join Weight Watchers. That's right. None of it makes sense. No. And it doesn't really matter anymore because, like, when their site went down, it came out they owed $3.4 million. And so we're pretty sure that their data was taken. And so they're just kind of left with the ecosystem. And it's not even the full ecosystem because they don't even have access to the free products that they had. They had those products for about a year. The O-Trim, O-Mail, O-Tracker. Those were going for almost a year. So it's alternate reality. It really is. It really is. And no, Joe, do you know what? I have not heard them talk about the carnivore diet lately at all. I was wondering if they were still on it because Chris is sick yet again. And I was kind of like, could it be that? Could it be that? You know, like, that's got to do something to your immunity. It really does. Marty will take over VYB. I don't know. Oh, shit. That's right. Ash won't pay AWS because he suspects they might be scammers. Sorry for the caps. What is the product? What do you mean? I just told you. They have an ecosystem full of technology that will help you run your business. Just like VYB. That also has an ecosystem full of technology that will help you run your business. They had 50 products. All of them began with O. So they had O Tracker, O Trim, O Mail. They had O Net, which was like Facebook. That one was also free. Then they have O Connect, video conferencing. They have O Staff. They have O Dit. They apparently had something called O Doodle. Basically, just put O in front of any word, and then they probably have that as a product. It was getting to that point. Ash even started to make up ones where we would be like, wait, that's not on the list. Because there is an image that we have, and the recovering Hunbot used to use it as a background when she would stream. And it had like all 50 of their products listed that they were allegedly going to release. And then like Ash would be talking and he would like randomly just come up with them. Some days I was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like that's not on the list. Never heard of that one before. Where did that come from? So we kind of came to the conclusion that he just kind of made them up as he went around. Yeah, there was Oh Bless. That was going to be their GoFundMe, which was going to help them save humanity. Yeah, Oh Women was one that popped up at the end. We hadn't really heard much about it. That was one of the ones that wasn't on the main list. But then all of a sudden it existed. And we were all like, wait, Oh Women, what's that about? You know, it's a bunch of bull hooey, you know, bunch of bullocks. Exactly. But all of them were supposed to be softwares. And they were all going to be in this ecosystem back office thing, which is, again, all that we have now. That's what I keep showing you guys, is the back office. You can only log into it right now and then just sit there. Like, there's nothing to do at all. You just stare at your 10 O coins. Everyone got 10 O coins to join. And they were going to have O Shop, O Mart, and O Commerce. Yes, and that's the thing, is that then the products that started to come out, you were like, is that not all just the same fucking thing? Like, what is that? Why do we have that? And they would be like, well, O Shop is where we're going to sell our merch. And then O Mart is where you guys can all sell stuff out of your house. And then O Commerce is where the OnPassive stuff is going to be sold. And it was like, all right, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, what are we doing? But it's just any way to make money. And then the idea was each product was its own income stream, which sounds crazy because then they would have to eventually, if these things ever did exist, they would be like, come join our MLM. We have 50 ways that you can make an income. And that just sounds ridiculous, you know? It just sounds ridiculous. Dawn has to budget with Ash not paying Marty anymore. So she's buying him Petsman cat food for his carnivore diet, you know? 4 kids and buying all that meat, even if just for Marty. Wouldn't that be expensive? Yes. Yes, it's not a cheap diet. Most diets are. Right? Because like your diet shouldn't be you eating less food necessarily. Right? I mean, you can do portion control and all that stuff, but you should still be eating like a hearty meal. So if you're just eating meat, yeah, you're going to be eating like a steak. Like that can get pricey for every meal. And you don't want to eat too much red meat constantly. That's bad for you. They've actually proven that that can be very, very bad for your heart and your arteries. And Marty is eating pouch rat 3 times a day. That's right.
Long term, and when I say long term online, I mean 9 months, 6 months. You're not going to make enough that would make you feel good enough to lose the loyalty to what Ash has done for us.
Yeah, I started to get bored. So enjoy us having fun with memes during this.
An example. If I got together with, now here's Mike Ellis. You guys know Mike? Okay, he's not a spring chicken. The work he does is immense. Immense. Probably why he's in such good shape. But it's hard. And you know what he said to me? We talked years ago, a couple years ago, when he realized the opening of this magnificent company is not happening right now. I need to go back to work. He did not say, now the discussion was, we knew we could go somewhere and build a massive team and something else to make quick cash. Guarantee it. And by the way, without cross recruiting, do you know how I know? I can go to do a paid ad. It takes me a couple of weeks to get fine tune it, and I bring fresh eyes to this new business without anybody at OnPassive knowing about it. In fact, very small percentage of anybody that's in now, 1 million people, would even see it, because I would direct the traffic. I would aim for traffic that's not about OnPassive. Guarantee it. But where does that put me? Puts me right where my fat ass was 6 years ago when I came to OnPassive, because I was sick and tired
The
of
irony.
that business. I think people should go out and make money. No doubt about it. But it's how. It's how. You're going to hear stuff like, yeah, but you can start at this low price. You can do this at this low price. This will automatically. There's nobody going to get you. It's secure. It's it. But do the math. If you put a little bit in, even if it's an investment, you're going to get very little back. It's math. Math doesn't lie. So I only say this because listen, people say, oh, Marty, thank you for everything you do. It's creepy for me to people to say that. I appreciate it. But when you look for something that everyone can get a fair shake, and we're not going to take advantage, or we're not going to. I did it. So I'm not going to take advantage of Narelle. Or I'm not going to take advantage of Tapan or all these people going by right now that I've talked to for 6 years. I'm not going to take advantage of Gene Aliva. Anything I say here and about this company.
So you're going to explain to everyone that you were paid to promote this, and that the only reason why you want them to stay in this one is because you're hoping to profit off of all of them, because you believe you've made it to the top 1%. Because honestly, why would you then be so threatened by people joining? Why? Honestly.
Mr. Mubara comes purely from the first time in my life.
Chuck says, has Marty never taken a lift? I was on Chuck's stream last night, and we were talking about that rapper. There's a rapper right now, Dank DeMoss, I think her name is. I don't listen to her, but she's suing Lyft because she's 500 pounds. And when the driver showed up with a very tiny car, he was like, I cannot take your, $4.98. Okay, sorry. I added a couple pounds. I rounded up. How dare I? But she's now suing Lyft for discrimination. And I was a little bit upset about it, as was all of the people on the panel. Just because, there's actual discrimination that goes on. So let's not take things that aren't actual discrimination and then claim that it's discrimination. It was a situation where the vehicle could literally not do the weight. You would need to get a van. It is just something known. And I brought up how I had to take an Uber or a cab back in the day when my little one was very, very car sick. And so we would let them know in advance that she got car sick and that we would be taking garbage bags to put on the seats, and that we would be taking, towels and wipes, and we would clean up and everything. But maybe there's some drivers that legitimately are like, no, I cannot have that in my car. You know what I'm saying? And you have to think about that. So I didn't want to ever have a situation where a driver pulled up and then there we are, taking out garbage bags. You know what I mean? And the driver's like, no, I don't want that going on in my car. And they would always be great. I never had to wait extra or anything. They would just be like, okay, that's fine. Thank you for letting us know and taking the precaution. But if something happens, we might have to charge you for a cleaning fee, And I would be like, yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know, just in case, there's a certain vehicle you have that, maybe they don't care as much about their back seats as maybe somebody else would, I don't know. And it's just, you have to, and I'm somebody with disabilities, and you have to be the one that's responsible for this kind of thing. So you can't like for example, I couldn't then sue them for discrimination because they didn't want to take my daughter because she might be car sick in their back seat. You know, so you gotta like think about that kind of thing. So that's the joke. That was a very long way to describe a joke, but there we go. You need Cece's cargo van. Yeah, it's a girl though. What's that in kilos and or stones? I don't know. 226 kilograms. I'm 90 kilograms at the moment. Yeah. It was a safety issue too. She wouldn't have been able to wear a safety. See, and that was it as well, right? Like they have to then prepare for that. You know, I don't think that's discrimination. I think that is them also protecting themselves and protecting her from a bad situation. And I'm sorry, but the woman's got to be in her 30s or something. Like you know, you're a grown adult. It's like enough is enough. Okay, enough is enough. Out of all of the lawsuits to happen, that one is silly. And I really do hope that the judge just throws it out.
I'm part of something that if I push it and share it and shine the light on it, I believe with all my heart, it will change lives.
Again, though, he believes that this will change lives, just all the other ones won't change lives. They're all bad. And I know people are watching this and they're getting very frustrated with the irony because there's a chance that VYB could have their products released on February 17th. There have been quite a few companies that have like started in the past 6 years that OnPassive has been in their pre-launch. And I've even pointed this out several times. They've started, gotten products all way quicker. Gotten a merchant, not had the same issues. And this is why I keep saying, like, their issues are very much their issues because of Ash and how he runs this company, not because these are issues that these companies face, like they keep trying to tell people in this thing. Otherwise, every single MLM that ever started up would have had all of these issues. Like Ash, right off the get-go, didn't register the securities properly. And then just everything went wrong from then on out. You know what I mean? So they're sitting here and they're talking about how VYB and all these other opportunities aren't the one and they're not going to do it and they're just here for your money and you know, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, but OnPassive is even worse and might yet again not launch its products by the time another company starts up and then launches theirs and is able to sell them. And it's kind of like, what are they going to tell people? I've been watching the VYB stuff go down and I can't help the whole time but sit there and think, what does Engineer Mike and Dr. Benny say to themselves about this? Like, what if these products do launch on February 17th? Their products, they don't have as many and they are not as convoluted as the ones that OnPassive have. A few of them are very, very similar. Like they have a domain like thing that give you a website. They have a community app thing. They have a, you know, like it is very similar, but I think that they might be able to pull it off. Worries me. I don't want people to join this, but they might actually be able to get the products out. I don't know. And I can't help but sit there and go, what happens if they do though? Like, what is Engineer Mike and Dr. Benny then gonna believe about OnPassive? Like, how are they gonna make that right in their heads where they're not seeing how obviously OnPassive's problems aren't just because they're a starting up technology company? Because you could argue that VYB is a membership with technology that's going to do, like I said, a lot of it's similar. So it's like, you got to wonder, like, how do they, the cognitive dissonance that you must have, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. To be fair, if there was a rare accident, she would be the buffer. Oh, Chuck. I know, did you see the side eye he just gave them? Mm-hmm. Good job, Sherry. Why has Chris changed his hat? He does every once in a while. It's just the last 3 hats have all been really bad cowboy style hats. I don't know why he's decided that that's the style that he should wear. He looks better with a baseball cap on, to tell you the truth. This doesn't go with him at all. Chris's hat is worse. See? They're getting worse, if anything. The straw one was bad. The other cowboy hat thing he had was weird. You know? I think the VYB product is basically just going to be the membership. No, they've announced 8 products now, softwares, but only announced. They don't exist yet. But, I mean, again, they could. I'm going to laugh if they don't, but they could. I don't know. At least they say the name of the company. Right.
And while we're waiting, as hard as it is, I'm going to give you the bare facts. You guys know me. You're in my living room.
Well, not your living room. You probably shouldn't have had the background up if that's what you were going to use. Like, it's kind of funny that you're like, you guys know me, you're in my living room as you've got this stock image up as a green screen in the back. That was kind of an oversight, Marty.
Struggling. More than you could imagine. Way more than you could imagine. The math doesn't add up. I keep adding little people to my house.
But then you do these presentations where you're like, guys, all you'll need is 3,000 people on your OnPassive team. And then you'll be able to make the average of what people in your area make. And you don't think that math doesn't math at all? You know? They announced some products. I've never seen an MLM that announced products that didn't end up happening. Most of their products can just basically be webinars and people talking to each other. Right. But I'm saying, like, they could potentially launch their 8 products on the 17th before OnPassive launches the 50 products that they've been promising since 2018. At this point, even if they launched one product that people could sell, it would be more successful than OnPassive. And that is the main irony here, is that it's like, they've only been around for a couple months. And although, yes, we've judged them very poorly because they have not been doing well in the last couple months. They're awful people. Like, they're just as scammy as Ash, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, when you're sitting in something that's been around for 6 years and is pretty much in the exact same position that VYB is in right now. VYB has also been having issues with their merchant because Danny DeHeck got the merchant to basically be like, no, you're running a scam. Right? So they've also experienced a couple of the same issues. But they could potentially all of a sudden release these 8 products. And they could still beat OnPassive in this race of who releases them first. I gotta say, like I said, there's been a couple of MLMs that have really been starting up over the last year that have gotten products. So, I mean, at this point, if history tends to repeat itself, I would have to say that VYB has more of a chance of releasing their 8 products this year than OnPassive has a chance of releasing even 1 product by the end of this year. You know? I'm like, I don't know. I'd have to maybe think VYB might do it first. Queen, did you ever show the clip of Engineer Mike speaking on the... Yes, I did. I did show it. If you watched my deep dive on Megan and Reagan Lynch, I explained that was why, and I showed the clip. Yeah, I do notice they don't wear their OnPassive caps anymore. Is that what happened, Chris? Do you only have OnPassive caps? So now you're just stuck with these cowboy hats? Is that what's going on? Didn't Vibe have 8 channels or options? Yeah, Vibe had 8 alleged products that were coming out. So it's like, you know, they might release them. Will they be excellent? Probably not, but they'd still be one step ahead of OnPassive. So what do you want me to say? They definitely shouldn't be saying anything. Primo the Boxer, good to see you, says they both look amazing. This carnivore diet does wonders. It really does. Imagine the look on Ash's face if that happened. That's what I mean. It'd be kind of funny. I gotta admit. It would be pretty funny.
The income isn't moving. And I'm not saying this for you to do something. I don't want you to do anything. I just want to let you know inside, I can change that today.
Okay.
Today, with the skills we've learned, myself, Mike, and Dan, I can change that today. Hold yours for the little kids. But that means I have to not give a shit about you. I can't do it. I'm not putting down anybody that did it. Maybe they look at it different. But if you can't invite somebody to this new great business without talking to one soul and OnPassive, I wouldn't do that.
Funny coming from the guy who once again has just collected people from the last 20 years of MLMs that he did and then brought in his team with Dan and Mike over here to OnPassive. And I'm still wondering what you were doing with the carnivore diet and if that was something that you were trying to do for some kind of scheme. I haven't heard about it in a while, but, you know, I'm still wondering about it. It's just funny that you're coming at this from a moral standpoint of, I could never scam you guys in an MLM because I brought you to this MLM to scam you guys in. And so I care about you. Like, what in the emotional manipulation type bullshit is this?
By the way, I could do it without any of you knowing it. I would never do it. Why? I'm just that guy that, because...
By the way, guys, I could manipulate you real well. Yeah, I can really pull the wool over your eyes. Yeah, you know, I can really do that. I can manipulate the fuck out of you. But you know what? I'm a really good person, so I'm not going to do that. Look at how good of a person I am, because I'm not going to do that.
I looked for this so long, and most of you tried to work online. Probably 99% of you. Sometimes we forget how we were treated and how we really didn't make any money. In fact, we lost it.
Do you forget when you told them that if they could go and find another opportunity that would pay out to them, then to go do so? You also told them to go find a way to make money in the meantime while they were waiting for OnPassive to pay them. And then you also just admitted to us that you realize that most of these people's experience is in MLMs. So when you tell them to go find something else, they're probably just going to go find another MLM. Because that's where their knowledge and experience is right now. Like you just said, 99% of them came from other MLMs. So what do you want from these people? Because you claim that you want them to be able to survive and have an income, but then you refuse to be the ones that are giving it to them. Then you tell them to go find an income, but then when they do, you get mad at them because maybe it's not the income that you want them to have. I mean, like, what do you want from them? Are they just supposed to sit around and watch webinars and then, like, starve to death in the meantime? Because, like, 6 years ago, you preyed on people that didn't even have the money hardly to buy in. People had to take out loans for this. The interest on those are probably awful right now. Probably got collections knocking and shit. And then you're here like, oh no, guys, don't do anything else. We're the ones that care about you, but we don't have anything for you either right now. Like,
And I've seen people, I've had people rate me. I'm doing this and this, Marty. I'm not waiting anymore. Okay. How you going to do it? Well, it's a great site. They gave me a website. You wouldn't believe it. No, I got that. How do you grow the business? Are you just going to keep buying products until you make more money? How are you going to do that? You're going to lose money. No, I'm going to, and you could tell by beep, 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 that's all, folks, that he realized, he started thinking, I'm going to go to my friends and family. No, for what? So they could tell you're an idiot?
well, what do you literally have sat up here and told us about how your friends and family think you're an idiot for being an OnPassive. You do speeches all the time telling people, don't worry, all these people in your family and all of your friends that told you no, when this thing launches, they'll be coming to your door again. Like, Lord, the hypocrisy.
You're going to market? By the way, I don't want to hurt your feelings. You couldn't market 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago, and now you can? Did you learn all these skills somehow? It's very elusive. It's not fair to everybody. And he was so pissed at me, he hung up, because reality, all I was doing is pointing at the obvious. Hey, fantastic, what are you doing? How are you going to do it? And he came back later, not that day, and said, you're right. And
yeah, so then maybe he should just leave OnPassive. Maybe he should just leave OnPassive, because you're telling people that they should be able to sign up 3,000 people like in a month. Don't worry, guys. All you need is like 285 downline, and then you'll be good every month. Like,
the reason I was pissed is you had me refocus on the facts. The facts are you can't do it. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here.
okay, but they also promise targeted traffic and website and a community to help you do it. So what do you guys provide that they don't provide?
I spend a lot of time on everybody here from India, every country in the world. Why? Because if I can take a small piece like that and be part of something like this and be able to tell my friends, my family, all of them, when they hear about it on the news or they see the impact, I can say, I did my part. I was a small piece to that puzzle, like all of you. Roy Davies, Myra Aquino, we have Abdi also, Gina Leva. Come on.
Gina Leva.
Anyway, I owe it to Ash. And by the way, I know time goes by. I know you heard it rips me apart from the inside, some of the emails I get. From suicide to this, to that, to this. Listen.
What do you mean you get emails about suicide? People email you telling you that they're going to unalive, and this is your reaction to it? Oh yeah, I get emails about suicides and, from this to that. It's all good, What do you mean? See, that's how disconnected you are. The people in this are writing you about how they want to unalive themselves, Marty, because you've got them sitting around, waiting around. Every day you tell them the exact same thing over and over and over again. And your idea of it is like, oh, well, it's just people complaining to me.
When the doors open, Ash is responsible for the company to do well. But until there, he's not responsible for my life. He's not responsible for your life. He's not. There's people living a life I feel so sorry for. I can't do anything other than patience, which was driving people crazy.
Yeah, because Marty sits up here, talks about how he wants to help people, talks about how he's like financially stable, okay, in the USA. And for a lot of people in these developing countries, even somebody that makes minimum wage in the USA looks like they have a lot of money. Because to them, it would be a lot of money. Because as Marty keeps pointing out, in a lot of the places that they've preyed on, They're living off of $100 US a month. And that's a normal amount for them there. So then Marty comes out here and talks about how they're saving humanity in all this. So people are going to go, okay, well, I'm supposed to be in this thing with a family, a community that cares about me personally, me, supposedly knows me by name and everything, even if they pronounced it wrong. So I'm going to reach out because I need money for my family right now. And I cannot keep waiting. I've been in this thing for 6 years. I can't keep waiting. So they go to Marty and Chris because they've positioned themselves at the top of this thing. They want to be the people that everyone goes to until people go to them. And then they don't want it anymore. And then they complain about it, right? But it's kind of like, what did you expect to happen? Because like Ash pocketed $108 million and he paid these guys a bunch of money, but he's not just handing out money to people to help them out in the meantime. And to some people, they're kind of over here like, well, they've been promising me financial freedom for 6 years. Like, why can't I just go ask them for a little bit of help? And they never stop to think about any of that. They just complain when people are like, hey, I need help. Marty is beyond evil. He's not a good person. That's for sure. He said the New Zealand average wage was $118,000. Not going to happen. Yeah, no, he just gets ChatGPT to do it, but I don't know what prompts he's giving them because a bunch of them have been wrong. It's ridiculous. He doesn't fact check anything either.
Be patient. I don't want to keep saying that, but I do want to say, if something else came up that was equal to Mr. Mafara, I will join it. And if it goes past my internet, I will know it. There's nothing out there, even the new wave. Remember, waves of shiny objects come every January. Just to give you a newsflash. Usually they start in October and they run until March. So if you got the best thing that ever happened between those months, and maybe I've seen presentations, they were done very, very well. Bottom line, where are you going with this? And where can you go with that and make a big, significant thing? And we should be motivating each other. If you got to go back to work, go. If you can make money, make it. I'm not putting anybody down. Just please, when you go to something new, we have a lot of people that sit back and say,
like, what is this?
People giving up. And I'm not thinking they're giving up. They're desperate. They're looking for something. But if you jump on...
The funny thing is, they never even, as far as I'm aware, like went to Marty and told him that they were going to leave this thing for that thing. For all we know, they're also just joining this thing. It's just like when Ron joined another MLM, right? And it's like, okay, but they haven't left this one here. So why are you so upset? What's going on?
Something that really, truly is not a life preserver, you're going to drown. And then when time comes back and people say, I'll tell you what I did 5 years ago. I want to talk about this because it's important. A company popped up within OnPassive. I can't remember what it was called. It was $10. And everyone can win. Was I naive? Yeah, absolutely. You know what the words that came out of my mouth? We have something that you can do while you wait, so you'll have the money to invest into OnPassive when it launches. Exact words came out of this pie hole. So I went to the webinar and I really looked at it. Now, this is very early. I felt like a damn. So I'm approached by somebody. I'm not going to mention that name. It doesn't matter. They knew we could bring people in. Obviously, we were bringing a lot of people in every day into OnPassive. And Marty, there's something out there. Some of the big leaders in OnPassive are in it. Kind of got the opinion that it's backed by Ash. People can make money, guarantee everyone. And so they'll have cash to buy the products. Now, at that time, it wasn't even the company that we launched. But I thought, wow, what a great thing. And there's some leaders from OnPassive in it. It must be okay.
Yeah, he's been saying OnPassive now again.
So I went to the first webinar, and the guy running it was named TTAG, whatever. It was like
It does sound like Live Good, doesn't it?
letters. JC. Oh, I think it was JC. And some of the speakers at the time for OnPassive were there. Well, automatically I thought it was endorsed. Didn't know Ash really well. I knew him, but not like I do now. And I, no doubt, I'm thinking if they can make a little money, we're here. So the point was $10, and they're going to regenerate these little honeycombs. Like, yeah, I was a worker bee. I was a jackass. So we went through the whole thing, and I'm sitting there going, well, the only way they could do that is get a merchant. This guy couldn't get a merchant. So I go research how hard it's not hard if you're ethical. If you have a good plan, you can get.
It's not hard to get a merchant if you're ethical. Says the man that's sitting at the top of the scam, whose main issue right now is that they cannot get a merchant because they are not ethical, and they are being sued by the SEC for $108 million for fraud, basically. So I don't like what? What? How do you say that out loud, Marty, and not realize what you're saying even in the moment? Like, as you're saying it, just kind of go, oh shit, we had a bunch of issues with our merchant. And then we tried to invent one called PC Transmobile Repair Hub or some bullshit like that. I did a video on it. And it was really, really fake. Like, it was like, what is this? What's going on? And then as soon as I called it out, all of a sudden it was no more. Weren't using that one anymore. So what are you talking about, sir? I mean, I just want to hold up a mirror while you're doing that speech.
You can get a merchant.
Oh, yeah?
You can get a merchant.
Oh.
During that time, 24 hours, we had 750 people in that. Now, were they founders? Yeah. They were the same founders I brought into OnPassive.
Were
Because
they?
remember, I think it's part of the deal. They can make a little money for it. Dumbass. I'm pointing to the dumbass, not Chris this time. Me. Not on purpose. I really thought it was a good thing. So that day went by. I get back with Mike and Dan. I said, something's not right.
Right? Like, Chris needs to put his glasses on. He, like, squints the whole time. And then when he's trying to read stuff, he, like, gets close to the screen, you know? It's like, you have glasses. Wear them.
There was other things internally that happened too. Anyway, so I go back and I go, this ain't right. I don't know how much we collected. That couple, it was a good chunk of change. And we're doing the math. If we keep going at the rate we're going, we'll make 50 grand in a month.
What?
How much will they make?
Here's the thing, though, is you probably shouldn't trust anything that's telling you that you're going to make 50 grand in a month. Like, your math, Marty, is the same when you're doing your presentations with your calculator. I don't understand how you're not making the connection this whole time.
So I went back. We all went back. We listened. We asked questions. Hey, if this part don't work, everything about your business is a lie. That went over.
So you heard it here. If the merchant doesn't work, all right, and you can't make the amounts that they're claiming, then the business is a lie. Therefore, by Marty's own logic, OnPassive is a lie. Their major issue right now is no merchant and then no products. All right, no merchant and no products. If they got a merchant, they would probably open up registration again. Right? Why would they not? I mean, they had it open for the first several years. I believe that's when the issues with their merchant started, and that's why that had to cease at that time. And then they managed to get a merchant for the O Connect that, and again, it didn't last very long. Also because it was a new one. You see, like when you go to and you understand kind of how this works based on like trust and credit and history of your business and you know, all that kind of stuff, you can really kind of sit back and go, yeah, no, if I was a merchant, I probably wouldn't want to be theirs either. Like, you know, like, and that's the issue that they're facing. And then, of course, everything got shut off because Ash wasn't paying the bill because he was no longer bringing money into the scam. And he's been living off of the money that's been coming in, right? Because he pocketed the $108 million. So he didn't pay any of the bills. He didn't pay any of the employees because nothing was coming in. And apparently the only thing that they managed to pay a bit for was their marketing campaigns, which we believe were mainly to legitimize it. They, for some reason, felt like that would legitimize the company more than having the products. Because at this point, we're just trying to convince the people that are already here, right? We're not trying to really get new people. It became all about just convincing the people that are in this to stay. Everything Marty's saying about them, he should be saying about OnPassive.
Like a part in church, right? I mean, you just don't do that. You don't do a in church, right? So they didn't like it. So I got back off the web and I said, Mike, Dan, we're getting out, right? They agreed. So we got out. Not only did I get out, I paid everybody's $10 back because I knew it was the wrong thing to do.
What a humanitarian.
And obviously those people are no longer in OnPassive years ago. But that's what they created. And there's a big story behind it.
And those people are no longer in OnPassive. Interesting.
Hopefully when you come to my living room, and we get Mr. Mufara to come, he can tell you even the inside scoop of what happened. But my point is, I was given the same deal and I went for it. So when I'm telling you don't do it, be careful, it's because I've been there, done that.
We know you tell us every day about how you've been there and done that for 20 years. We really didn't need this story. Thank you.
I mean, let's assume that there's a product for $25 and you're not going to make $25 until freaking next December. Is it worse? Anyway.
Let's just assume that like the cost of this product is the exact cost of the membership for VYB. Let's just assume that they say that they'll pay you $10 if you sign up people to VYB for $25. Let's just assume that they have similar products.
Think about that for a while. And listen, you don't hear me mentioning names. I'm not attacking anybody.
But we're not going to mention the name, okay? And we're not attacking anybody. Except for VYB. Fuck that.
But I'm going to give you one thing. This is a fact. I don't care who it is. And I'll say this to anybody on OnPassive. If you can't drive targeted eyes to what you're doing daily without using a solo ad, without using a safe list, without buying a bunch of freaking emails or joining an email service where you just keep regenerating it, in my book, you're not a freaking marketer. You're one step above other people that can't market. But when you get to the point where you can leverage people.
Where's Marty at? Did they get a forklift? No, he just got a background. He just got a stock image background, probably one of Restream's stock images. Even StreamYard has some that you can choose in the back. So he didn't leave his chair.
And not necessarily for the good. Yeah, we launch OnPassive. There's a good chance in the very beginning, myself, Mike, and Dan do better than a lot of people. No doubt. Why? You still have the skills to be able to go out and do it. But here's the difference. Mike Ellis, myself, and Dan have said for 3 or 4 years, whatever little ideas we might have to enhance this magnificent business, we will share it with you.
That's literally what VYB says as well, though. I mean, their whole platform is based off of people allegedly helping people run a business. They even have a funding for small businesses. Yeah, one of their products is to get funding for your small business. Another one is to like learn your business skills. Another one, of course, is like teach the business skills, and they claim that they're going to get a monetized platform. I mean, they've got some claims. They've got some claims. I also believe them to be a scam. Again, not much different from OnPassive, but that's why this is so funny. Because Marty's like, guys, don't do their scam. You're supposed to just do my scam. Don't join their cult. Stay in our cult.
Why? No competition. The stronger the least fortunate get, the stronger we get. The more we build up Africa.
Yeah, Megan Lynch says that she's been doing scams for like 20 years too. So
India, Bangladesh, all you people, you know who you are. Papua New Guinea, the quicker we build them up, we will be fine, as Oliver said. More than fine. Because if we shine the light on a poor country,
wow,
it goes back. This is true. It works with people and it works with countries. We shine the light as a group in Africa, in these different countries, Russia, I don't care who it is. The reflection will make you'll get enough light on yourself. It's just automatic.
So you're only doing it so that it helps you in some way? Oh, wow. What a great person.
One thing God made that just made it perfect. Uplift others, you feel better. Take care of others, you live longer. Give, and it releases things in your body that you live and feel better. Had no idea I was going to go over this today, but it's because I care, and I really appreciate everybody being here. I believe I talked for 30 minutes, but a lot weighing on my mind.
Right, like he's like so close to the screen right now, and it's just like, just get your glasses and put them on your face.
I believe, this is my personal opinion, my belief actually. Why didn't we open the doors a year ago September and it worked? Why didn't we open 6 months later, 6 months after that, 6 months after that, and now we're into 2025? You want me to tell you why?
Why?
Because you got to pick the weeds out of the freaking garden.
Oh. So this was all on purpose? So it took 6 years on purpose? So for the last 6 years, when you've been telling people that it was going to launch next month, next week, tomorrow, by Christmas, etc., you knew the whole time that it was going to take at least 6 years to launch? And you were just lying to everyone that whole time? How do we know that you're not lying to us right now then? You're either lying then or you're lying now. Either way, you're a liar. I don't think I should trust what you say. I'm just saying. Gogo says, it has not been possible to quit OnPassive for a long time. So who cares if someone joins something else? Of course, that other thing might be a scam too, right? And what they don't understand is they're creating a situation where if you are a scammer, this is a perfect group of people to come prey on. Perfect victims over here. They're all in one big group just waiting. And every once in a while, these guys even tell them to go join something else. Like, you know, that's why you just shouldn't join these things. Hello, Thomas. Tell me why ain't nothing but a big scam. Hello, Baron. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great day. He told me 3 products in the next 3 months. That's what they always say. They always say silly things like that. You know? Joe says Christmas 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now we're on to 2025. And we're in February. And again, Ash is just telling us what we want to hear or what they want to hear. Not what I want to hear, but what they want to hear. Like no new info. In December, this was allegedly not going to take months before everything was going to start up for us, but here we are. Here we are, February 6th. Woo! We'll probably still be here June 6th.
Each don't belong in something that's giving, and it happened in history. It's ready when it's ready. Many times I prayed to God for something, and I got it, but not the way I wanted it.
Oh.
What I focused on mechanically here isn't the way. If I pray to God, God saying, you want to go here? Yeah. You're not taking that path. You're taking that path. And that's what I believe is going on. And I think because it's a little quiet, people.
Yeah, but you, again, tell yourself that because you're like, I've been in scams for 20 years. I finally made it to the top 1%. What are other people in this supposed to tell themselves?
assume nothing's going on. And I'm going to say this in ending this rant of mine. There's more going on behind the scenes than you can even fathom.
Right.
All the people, I'm going to say it again, Mr. Mufara, whatever team he has, massive, global, every minute of every day, every hour,
Wobble.
every month, it's building and building and building and building for.
Every minute, every day, every hour, every month. You mean every minute, every hour, every day, every month? Sorry, that fucked with me so hard just now.
For you and me. So I hope everything I said that was not very clear is clear. Clear as a cloudy day. But I just want to say it because the reason
Scammer's throat clear.
I'm here and spend time is because I don't want you. I want you to take care of you and your family. No doubt about it. I have no right to tell you what you can do. Many people on OnPassive are doing something else.
Okay.
Watch what you're doing. If the first thing you do is you jump in because it sounds so great, newsflash, probably it's not.
Well, what if they jumped in this because it sounded so great? Newsflash, it's not.
Good chance it's not. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris because I'm sorry I don't really.
Peter Garmo?
And before we hear from Chris, we're going to take a little short commercial break. When we return, we're going to hear Chris go off about this same thing. I've cut out some of his praying because we just don't need that. And then we're also going to see them go off on an audience member. And then we're going to talk about why they keep doing this speech. So stick with us. We'll be right back. Today's video is brought to you by...
Do you have a berserker demon? You may think that's a strange question, but I've dealt with berserker demons. What's a berserker? The word describes ancient Nordic warriors who fought with uncontrollable rage. This is where we get the expression, he was so angry, he went berserk. In the days of Vikings, berserkers would enter a trance before battle to get supernatural strength. They fought with a frenzy. Sound like someone you know? As we say, they lose it. Explosive anger can come from frustration, feeling disrespected, trauma, mental and hormonal issues, and drugs, but uncontrollable rage can be demonic. As an exorcist, I've dealt with berserker demons. If you've got one, you'll need more than anger management therapy. You may need an exorcism of a berserker demon of anger. That's inhuman. I'm here to help at boblarson.org.
Whoa, looks like you got a bit of a tangle in your dangle. Did you know that more than 8 out of 10 hose owners die each year? Not anymore. Hey, turn me on and watch my hose get huge. My mom always told me I was a grower, not a shower, and boy was she right. And if you squeeze me in the right spot, all my raging fluids will come flying out of me, and instantly I'll retract to my small, natural, convenient size. Amazing! Oh, yep. Shout outs to all my flowers and growers out there. And just like a real snake, it can contract and expand like an accordion. You know, we really wanted to name it the Snake Hose, but that's the title of a gay porno. I mean, I've never seen it, but lizard's close enough. This is my next door neighbor, Sharon. She didn't know I was filming her. She also didn't know I had my hose in my hand, too. If your hose weighs more than 15 pounds, I feel sorry for you. You see, women prefer light, dainty, petite hoses. You don't want to be walking around with a big honking nanner. Oh, Sharon. Whoa, watch the whoa, don't get it caught on the thing. Whoa. Hey, buddy, watch where you're going. You don't want to end up like that guy, still using a standard hose, not going anywhere, and he's fucking bald. Fuck! Look at my hose, people. Oh, yeah, it's growing fast, and it's not kinking up anytime soon. Now, I don't know who lives here, but it's time to wake up. Behold, the full length and girth of my hose and its full potential. Hey, can't you see I'm filming a commercial here, you fucking asshole? Wah! Take that, fuckboy! No one fucks with my hose! The lizard hose is about $30. You get 25 feet. That's like, just a little bit more than $1 per foot. Now, fuck it, we'll give you 2. That's 50 feet. Get fucked. Come on, touch it.
Wait, do you have a condom? You don't have one somewhere? Yes. Oi, excuse me there, sir. Do you have these directions? Sure, you just go down that way and make a turn. Don't let her know that your dinger's almost a no-go. Get Tiny Dinger condoms to you discreetly. It's very important to choose the right size, so make sure that you get your tiny size. Don't be caught without a condom. No, no, no. Get Tiny Dinger condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Located at your local CVS pharmacy, Rexall, Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, and in your favorite streamer's nightstand. We get it. You're into feet, and not many girls are also into feet, but you finally found your dream woman. We got your souls covered now. Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Dinger condoms, trademarked, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand, and the same people who brought to you sexual endorphin spray, trademarked. We have now created the foot fetish Fantasia spray. When you're rubbing on her toes, take a deep breath in and smell the sweet aromas of the toilet bowl, the tire shop, dead flowers, and your nana's perfume. After all, it will turn you on more than just her pinky toe will. This little piggy has been to the market and grabbed themselves a bottle of the foot fetish Fantasia spray, trademarked. It made it so much easier to wake to my ex-girlfriend's feet after she posted up her beach trip vacay photos. Grab your bottle now and make that nasty foot fragrance vanish just like a ghost. Located at CVS Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Kmart, Chaz R Us, and in your favorite foot fetishist nightstand. Are you getting upset with people's freedom of speech and consumer protection laws that allow the public to speak out about your scam? Are you giving YouTube creators false strikes in order to continue preying on vulnerable people? Is it getting hard to hold it in? Hold in all the bullshit? Well, introducing Tiny Digger diapers, the adult diaper designed for the man baby deep down inside who's always on the way to the top where his ears will pop. With our FlexiFit technology, Tiny Digger diapers moves with you whenever you sit on your chair, sit in your RV, sit on a boat, or sit in your home office paid for by the people you scam. The Secure Lock core offers unmatched absorption for when you're full of shit, which is most likely all the time. These diapers keep you dry and comfortable so you can attend all 500 hours of webinars this week and not miss your chance to sign up a homeless man to your scam. Maybe he also needs the diapers, huh? Brought to you by the same people who brought to you Tiny Digger condoms and Fantasia foot spray. Buy Tiny Digger diapers today. Located at Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart, Target, your local CVS pharmacy, and in your favorite con artist nightstand. No matter where your day takes you from webinar to webinar, you will always be dry and you won't have to cry. Thank you for listening to a message from today's... Yes, thank you. Now we are about to hear from good old Chris Johnson.
Yeah, just be patient. I'm joking.
I'm
Very
going
good.
to-
Very good. Leave Raphael's name up there for a minute, please. Guys, I'm not sharing. Sometimes when you see us not sharing things or we switch it off is because we really want you to concentrate on what myself or Marty's saying. No disrespect to anyone. I read all the comments, great comments today. I will touch a little bit on some things Marty said, but let me do the niceties, as Marty calls them, first.
A few moments later.
Mark sends me a lot of nice prayers. Don sent me a beautiful prayer. I normally share them. Thank you. I appreciate it. A couple days ago, I wasn't having a good day with comments and what people were saying or people were doing.
Why? What are you talking about? Like, I hardly even covered you lately. It seems like whenever I don't cover them is when they complain the most. Like, I'll go cover other things, and then that's when they come out and they're like, I'm having such a hard time with what people are saying. And I'm like, I wasn't even covering it.
And then I wake up today to two beautiful prayers. And then my brother Raphael wrote a beautiful prayer, and I want to read it to you real quick and explain something about it.
You know, Marty, why are you scratching your back right now?
He said, as we go through our day, let's be mindful of people we come into contact with. If we have to talk, let's remember that we don't know everyone's situation. So be careful of the words that we share and how we present them. The way we speak might seem normal to ourselves, but the person who receives them might feel different about it. Once words leave our mouth, they're out.
That's right, Baron. Baron says that Chris cannot stand it when I
stop going there.
Stop going there.
Out there forever. Well, that's true. Have no regret. Let the words we speak today uplift someone, not bring them down. An awesome, beautiful, happy day to you. Love always, Raphael. Raphael, thank you. Very, very good and very true, because you can say the wrong thing.
Faith manipulation and MLMs, very strong.
Sometimes. And myself, Mr. DeGarmo here, we never want to tell you the wrong thing. Believe it or not, we get a lot of things sent to us, good and bad. Hey, they're doing this, and we check it out. We actually check it out and see if it's any good or but loyalty to this company.
Yeah, we would want your expert opinion on the scams out here. You know, since the two of you are so high up in this scam.
To me is everything. I myself don't do anything else beside OnPassive because I believe 100%.
You literally don't have time. These guys say that they wake up, right? They wake up early in the morning at like 5 a.m. to start doing stuff for OnPassive. And then they go to bed at like 2 a.m. And then that's a flex, apparently. Yeah, no, time freedom.
In this company. So let me finish off these prayers real quick.
A few moments later.
PNG, I seen some PNG on here today. Thank you for the nice comments.
This is weird. What he says is very weird.
That's where I was born. I still say that. And I'm praying for everything goes great. I just know when the doors do open, PNG is really going to change. I love that.
I was born there, I keep saying. That's weird. That's a weird thing to say. Like, oh, I have some friends in PNG, so I'm just going to start saying I was born there. I was meant to live in PNG. Yeah, Papua New Guinea. PNG, Papua New Guinea. You know? Queen, when you said they were high up in the organization, you could have stopped after high. Yep. They need me, apparently. But that's just such a weird statement to make. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't like it.
Marty DeGarmo and his family, myself, like I said, I'll ask for prayers for some healing because I'm going on close to 4 weeks with this lousy virus.
I guess that carnivore diet doesn't heal everything then, huh, Chris?
But I'm doing good. I'm fighting it. Please pray, say a prayer for my grandson, Evan.
I've created a monster. The perpetual network burger. Now, whenever there's some kind of acronym, people are just going to be like, this stands for this. But he was born there. Yeah, they have a very big team in Papua New Guinea. They've signed up a lot of people there. So I guess in order to feel close to them, he's now saying he was born there. Which, no, he wasn't. He was born in the U.S. over here. I don't know why we're doing that now, but I guess that's his way of relating to them.
And Cody, who I haven't seen in a while. But just pray for him. I don't want anyone. Anyone. So absolutely. Ash had said to me the other day that Yusuf is doing, that's his youngest son, is doing a lot better fighting pneumonia, very dangerous. We just got to watch out. So say some prayers for him and his wife and both his kids.
So his youngest son is fighting pneumonia. So that's not good. I hope that he's okay. I still think it's funny how these live streams by Marty and Chris have changed so drastically over 3 years. It's gone from how much money you'll make to praying for each other, right?
Great people. I'm so glad I have them in my life.
Praying for each other and then begging people not to leave them.
Like I said, Zach is doing a lot better with his blood clot there. Thank God. Ashley's coming along. Jacob, Jaden, JJ, we know is Shorty. Dawn, keep them in your prayers all the time. It's just one of those things. So I appreciate people sending me prayers. Actually, I love it. I do try to share everything I get. I can't always share everything, but I try. But just to touch on what Marty said, there is nothing out there that, and when it's out there, we see it because people send it to us. Of course, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? I can't explain other people's actions. I just know.
Why are they releasing things about the ongoings of OnPassive? What's going on with this scam that you guys aren't telling us? Do you get a lot of that? I'm just wondering.
Know that I believe in loyalty. I've always been a loyal person for whatever I'm doing.
But there's being loyal and then there's just being stupid. You know, like, what has Ash done for you? I know, again, he's paid Chris and Marty big amounts of money. But if you're somebody and you're an O-founder in OnPassive, what are you getting out of this right now? What has he done for you? Probably nothing.
Whether it was my job, I'm loyal to my family. I'm definitely loyal to that wonderful person up there called God. And I'm definitely loyal to Ash Mafar because I know he's been loyal.
Is that said in order or?
To all of us. So many things I could talk about and say. Marty's, what he was saying is absolutely correct. Usually when someone promotes something, oh, this is brand new. It's kind of like this is how I think about it.
You know, OnPassive was brand new and still technically is brand new. Because when these products arrive, if they ever do, there'll be new products. I mean,
every year, the first of the year, we set out a goal. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym. And 90% of people try it, and then they kind of stop after a couple of weeks, and then 10% might keep going and keep it up. But it's kind of like these other companies that are popping up, and especially in these months, they're only going to work for a couple.
These companies are just like New Year's resolutions.
Weeks, and they're really not going to work for you. The person that's promoting it or the persons, they're going to make a crap load of money. And like Marty said, maybe
you mean like $108 million?
Maybe next December, you might make a few bucks. And we don't say this to say, don't do this, don't do that. I wish I could. I really wish I could talk about what I've seen the last few days and what's out there, and people are going there. People that I know that aren't so well off money-wise, but you're spending money on something it's going to be shut down. I guarantee you that.
But the funny thing is that OnPassive is actually in court with the SEC, who is trying to shut them down. I wish that VYB was as well. Maybe they should be. But again, are you the one to be giving this speech? Chuck says, don't go there, Chris.
Stop going there. This company, I believe 100%, that's working extremely hard for you right now is going to take everyone where they need to go. We've, like I said, we've witnessed other people who had to go out and get jobs. Where they lost a job and they had the hopes this was going to take off and realized they had to go back to work. I got a lot of respect for an individual like that. But I also respect the loyalty in this company that people that are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, but find the time to.
You don't feel bad at all for like interrupting their lives and making all these promises to them, having them not turn into anything, and then having them have to go back out and get a job, and then you're still going to sit here and tell them to keep waiting around? Like, you don't have any remorse for that? That doesn't ring any bells? Is it not? Hello? You know, like, what? What's not connecting here, Chris?
Come on these webinars and tell them their why.
Hello,
why
Diamond
I'm in
Monkey.
this. Most of it's because, you know, nobody wants to work. That's the truth. And it sucks. Work sucks.
Robert's very upset and says, the queen of BS is more like it. Never once said any BS about this company, ever. You should be ashamed of yourself for sticking up for the public and for consumers against scams. Why would I be ashamed of that? I think it's quite noble. Give it up. No, I'm pretty persistent. You're going to be stuck with me for a very long time. OnPassive is here to stay. OnPassive is actually about to shut down, and Ash is about to start a new company with Ahmad Sawafta that is called OnFusion Smart Technologies, LLC. You're going to be calling it OnFusion T, according to Gersminder Dylan. So before you come and tell me that OnPassive is here to stay, you might want to be up to date on the latest information about the company that you're in. Because it's literally going to shut down. Or you're going to be left thinking that OnPassive is here to stay while these guys go off and start OnFusion T behind your backs. I don't know. That might happen. So live with it. I could make content out of this for the next 30 years if I wanted to. I mean, I hope it doesn't last that long. But I can live with it. It's a little frustrating that there's a bunch of people that want to scam vulnerable people out of all of their hard-earned money and make them wait around for things that are never going to come into fruition. But I kind of have to live with it. You know, there's about 18 million companies just like this one that are almost just as culty as this one, you know? So we all have to live with it, Robert. We all have to live with it. OnPassive is here to stay. Offer void in the USA. Turn that into a chant. OnPassive is here to stay as a different scam. I know it's sad when they don't know what's going on. Have you grabbed these comments? There's so many of them. No offices, no products, no website, and being sued for $108 million by the SEC, who's also trying to put a director's bar on Ash Mufareh, which would actually shut this scam down, at least in the USA. And those are facts. You know, I don't state anything but facts over here. You can be like, Joyce Sparkle BS and send me a fax machine. All right? I already get compared to a Nissan, so I mean, whatever.
Let's just be honest about it.
Why? I don't know.
The things that we see online, and I see 100 of them a day because I kind of watch. Oh, look at this. Wonder what this is. I don't join them. I just want to understand what they're trying to sell you. And most of it is the same. And you all know. Now, I'm not going to knock. There are some good companies.
It's funny that you check out the competition of scams, but you've apparently never checked out the competition when it comes to the technology products that you're going to be selling. That's a little weird. I feel like that's time wasted on the wrong thing. You know, like if you were going to research competition, you should maybe go out and research other products like the ones that you hope to sell. That might be actually helpful over here. I don't think Ash is researching it. Someone has to. Then maybe send the information to Ash. Maybe then something will actually get done over here, and then they can have a product. Wouldn't that be amazing? You know?
Out there that are online that people are making a few bucks for. I won't deny that. And I know everyone that's doing them because I've talked to individuals. Oh, good for you. We don't wish bad about anybody, but we can warn you there are certain things that are popping up in the last week, 2 weeks. Do what you want, but there's no way in heck I would even give them a penny because those people at the top, they're going to make a lot of money. You won't. Truth. That's the truth. They might give you a little sugar, which is laced with vinegar.
That's just it. George, I can never say this. Takai is starting up his own MLM to compete with OnPassive. It's going to be called Oh My.
Oh, look, well, I made $10 and then boom. A couple weeks later, it's gone. That gives you, oh, I better give him a little bit more. I got to move
Mama in space.
up a level. Levels I can't stand when I see those.
What do you mean you can't stand levels? When you joined this thing, there was a 3x10 matrix system. So there were levels, Chris. There were levels in this. It's an MLM company. There's going to be levels in OnPassive. So what do you mean as soon as you see levels, you can't stand it? How did you end up here? Like, you make no sense in this.
If you give us this much, we'll put you at this level. Don't. Please.
You literally are talking to people where you all signed up for $97 early bird special to allegedly be placed at the top level of this pyramid. What are you talking about? Like, right? This is the most gaslighting I've seen in a while. It's like ridiculous. Literally the same thing.
Please don't fall for it. We really don't like talking about this all the time.
You could have fooled me because, again, it's all the time.
But it's just the fact that we do care about you. We definitely are loyal and care about this company and what Ash Mafar is doing. And I say just stay positive. Woke up in a great mood today. Found out some things that were happy to my heart that made me feel better. But I wish sometimes I could just tell people, please, just trust me on this. You don't.
I have to say, I agree with you, Go-Go. I feel like he's totally clueless. I almost feel like every time they talk about how them and Ash converse with each other, they'll be like, oh, Ash updated us and it was fabulous. He said so many amazing things. He said, don't worry, it's coming any day now. Don't panic. And it's like, okay, that's just like the normal jargon he gives us all the time. So I swear to God, if Chris does text with Ash, he'll be like, hey, what's going on? And then Ash is just talking to him like he would any other downline. Right? Oh, everything's good. Just keep waiting. It'll be any day now. Good things are coming. Good things are happening. All kinds of good things behind the scenes. It's massive. And then, like, he tells Marty the same thing. And so Chris is just like, oh, wow, everything's going great. And then he just believes whatever Marty tells him. And he doesn't think any further than that. There's no deep thoughts going on in his head. Zero critical thinking skills. That's all he does. I guess we need a don't panic.
Don't panic.
It took me a second to find that one. Sorry, Joe. You know? Just saying.
I don't want to go in there, but that's the way life is sometimes. But we're always praying for you. Thank you for the prayers. I appreciate all the loyalty in this company from individuals, and most of them are on here or are going to watch this later.
So it seems like Chris' selling point here and what this company has that's different than other companies is what Ash Mufara and how him and Ash care about us.
Ash Mufara thanks you. We thank you. And in my book, a thank you goes a long way. Always has. And Ash Mufara is constantly telling us, make sure you tell people thank you for being loyal.
Simon said, it's called a parasocial relationship, a one-sided imagined relationship with a celebrity or public figure that only exists in their mind and is not reciprocated by the other person, except Ash actually does talk to them. Like, they are the top of this thing. But yeah, he's not actually their friend, right? So it's worrisome. And they really do see him as if he is a god. This is very, very culty. A lot of faith manipulation. And Ash has even been like, I was sent by God. God sent me here to do this company, to save all of humanity. So there's a lot of that going on as well. And it's just very, very worrisome. They're always praying for you. Yeah, praying on you is more like it.
Always. He cares about your situations, even though a lot of those things you bring up or send me aren't really his problem, but
what?
He wants to fix that situation. I need you all to remember that.
Even though they're not his problem, it's like, okay, but he made it his problem by coming on here and promising them data centers, water filtration systems, promising people he was going to end hunger and homelessness. Like, these are things that you, like, these are things that you should really, like, come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. The disconnect here is insane. That means that Ash is engaging in a bromance scam, con man tactic for crypto scammers. Really, he's running a commercial cult because it's an MLM company. So it's a cult, is what it is. Straight up cult.
He's doing this to fix all of our situations. He's doing this to.
No, he's not. He's doing this to make money. He's doing this to make money. The man pocketed $108 million. Didn't help one single person. Couldn't even pay his employees, pay his bills. But then we're supposed to believe that he wants to save all of humanity with his money? Like, that's ridiculous. And you just told us that it's not his problem. Like, it's like, but don't worry, he wants to save you anyway. Okay, like, I was just living my life. Everything was fine. This man showed up and he was like, hi, my name is Ash Mufara and I am your friend. And then he promised me that he was going to make my life better. And now you're getting mad at me because I've been sitting here for 6 years and I'm wondering, what the hell? What the hell? You know? I'm just wondering what the hell is going on the whole time. I'm Ash Mufara, and I'm your felon. I wish he said that. He really just says.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
That's all he says. And he says it way too much now. He said it like 6 times. It's very annoying. If he doesn't like to do it, then quit it, Chris. Right?
Put us somewhere that we just couldn't get out of. All right, remember that. Marty, deep breath. That's all I got. Back to you. And Raphael again, and Don and Mark, thank you again. Absolutely beautiful.
Jacob, I'm almost done. Hey, I got a question for everybody.
What the hell was that? Jacob, shh. I'm almost done. Yeah, and then what? You'll move on to the next webinar, and then the poor kid will have to be quiet in the living room the whole time again. What the heck?
Can you tell me what channel this scammer low-life worm-sucking pig is on so I can get rid of him?
So it's #refund is the name. And they say Ash Mufara scammer and Chris Marty big scammer organization agent OnPassive big scam. I think it's supposed to be scam. And it's very obvious that this is somebody that English is probably not their first language. And it's probably somebody that has signed up for this thing that's upset at them now. That was once in their OnPassive family with them. And this is how they react to it. It's insane. It's insane. I like this. He sounds like Barney, but evil. It's like, I love you, but only if you join my scam. Shut up, you little brat. That's how I always like take this. So the way he does it is, I don't know, I don't like it. He's always like, shh, Jacob, stop talking. It's like, holy crap. Also, he has like headphones on. So we should just get better headphones and then we wouldn't be able to hear him. Chris cannot think outside the paradigm he has put himself in. That's so very true, Queen. No, none of them can. So even Marty, like when he talks about this thing, he only talks about it from his own personal experience. Like he'll be like, Ash has done so much for me and my family, so you should definitely also stay loyal to him. It's like, okay, but there's people out here that are actually struggling, as you keep pointing out. They keep writing you about it. So, like, it's nice he's done so much for you, but they're kind of over here like, okay, well, when is he going to do anything for us? Lord. OnPassive is the kind of family that usually involves restraining orders between members. I agree, Thomas.
Yeah, I like his title, Refund. Yeah,
Hey, by the
5
way,
years.
hey, listen. The guy's name is Refund, or he's a coward.
Coward.
You tell me. My name's out there, Refund. I'm an idiot. Anyway, I usually don't point them out, but when you guys see these people that roam the earth just criticizing but don't have anything to offer, just let us know what channel they're on because I can get rid of them. Now, Refund will come back tomorrow as...
I love it too how he says that don't have anything else to offer after he just yelled at people for joining something else. So, like, if I was in Vibe and I was promoting Vibe, then could I speak out about OnPassive and how it's a scam? Would that be all right with you, Marty? Because then I'd be providing them with another scam to join. Do you want me to, like, ask them to join Scientology? You know? Do you want me to be like, hey, you know, maybe this cult isn't the one you want to be in. You should check out this thing. This David Miscavige guy is pretty cool. Tom Cruise is in it. It's great. Should I, like, ask them to go and start following Jason Castillo and Mother God and join Love is One? Should I maybe ask them if they want to do an Amway class? I mean, what does that fucking mean? And, like, they all say this. It's like, no, I'm obviously not going to offer them another cult when I'm speaking out about a cult or another scam when I'm speaking out about a scam. Why would I do that? Why would I offer another opportunity? The thing is that you're all adults. You know how to find work. If you don't know how to find work, then I don't know what you want from me, Marty. Like, are you an adult member of society? A decent one or not? And if there's people in areas that cannot find work, your scam isn't going to help them. We've already talked about that. And we've talked about what scams like yours do to developing countries, and it's not good. It's not help at all. It's ridiculous. So you got one nerve to tell people you care about them and that Ash cares about them when you're harming them.
Dumbass, maybe. But it doesn't matter. He has to change his email. So you can get rid of him for good. It's sad that he goes around being
honest.
Hashtag refund. What an idiot. All right. Anyway, thank you.
I know. It's definitely idiotic to log on the internet and not be in your full first and last name and dox yourself and then hand over all your personal information to strangers online. You guys are obviously much smarter because you guys not only put your first and last names out there, but some of you guys even put your phone numbers in your descriptions and stuff. That's a real smart thing to do on the internet, especially while you're promoting a scam. You should definitely hand over all of your personal information. For sure. Yeah, no, do that. You know what? Why don't you show us how real you really are, and you guys post your social insurance number online for everyone, just to show us that you're the real deal. You know, it will really show those of us that are only out here in our full first and last names. Because I was dumb like you, and I was in MLMs in my full first and last name out on the internet and then on YouTube, because it was like, well, what would be the point in changing my name on the internet now? Like, I'm in my 20s. Everyone knows who I am on it. You know, like, why would I all of a sudden go by something else? It would just be silly. So, you know, like, why don't you just show us just how real you are? It's just funny because you literally tell people to dox themselves online as you claim that you care about privacy and security on the internet.
I want to move on to something more important.
See, I got the greatest admins in the world. Gene, John, Narelle, Chris.
But do they know how to do it where he can't come back?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They time him out, but I get him later. I get him later.
Oh, okay.
No, they time him out for 24 hours, and I go in there and knock him out. But they're so smart, they get another email. Man, if I wasted all my time trying to... It's something that I don't want to do.
I believe Red's on here. Hello, Red. And I believe also Mike Ellis.
Man, you should really know that there are tons of channels out here that sole purpose is just to mess with scammers. Probably a good like million channels that are just dedicated to wasting scammers' time. And maybe that's why you shouldn't be on the internet in your full first and last name with your email and your phone number out here while you're scamming on the internet. Because you've been lucky so far with the communities that cover you. We don't do anything like calling up your house or anything like that. But there are people out here who would do that. And there are people out here who have channels dedicated to literally just going into scammers' Zoom meetings or calling up scammers on the phone at call centers and then literally just wasting their time. Because if you have them going off on you, then their energy isn't being used to go scam somebody else. So I often tell my community, yeah, if you can go into their chats and you can get them riled up, if you can take their mind off of trying to scam everyone there, trying to manipulate people further, and you can get them in a back and forth with you instead, that's great. Do it. And you really show yourself when you act up like this.
Could have swore I saw Mike. Anyway.
That's pretty much it. They eventually, I'm assuming, found out who that person was, and then they deleted them from the chat. After this, they went on to play more videos and then do their typical thing. They didn't really say too much else. But I wanted to take this opportunity to really get into when scammers call out scams. Also, when cults call out cults. The OnPassive versus VYB hypocrisy. Because it's been driving everyone crazy, and I'm getting a lot of messages like, oh my God, Queen. They are literally sitting here going off about how VYB is a scam, and all the reasons why they're listing is basically why we say OnPassive is a scam. And they're not understanding, and they don't realize. I have to admit, there probably is a little bit of a disconnect there where they really do believe that theirs is the best one, as people in these MLM commercial cults usually do. They're convinced that although all other MLMs fail, the one they're in is the one that does not. at all times. And it's funny because even as they go from MLM to MLM to MLM, they will continue that. So then they'll leave that MLM, join a new one, and then that new one is the one. Even though over and over and over again, they've been proven wrong that no, it's not the one. And we got to go find a new one. And it's fascinating. It's interesting. But there's also other reasons why this keeps happening. And I think we should talk about it. So, Joe said, if I wanted to, I could find out where Chris lived and drive by his house. Yes, he is in the Detroit area. A little scam on scam action. That's right, Thomas. That's right. How dare Vibe try to scam us, basically. Vibe is the new thought. Mm-hmm. It works. Scam on scam. Is that a kind of corn? Might be a kind of crime. Maybe crime. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, some scammers don't just run scams. They also call out other scams to keep their victims loyal. Marty DeGarmo and Chris Johnson from OnPassive recently criticized Vibe, despite the fact that OnPassive itself shares the same fraudulent characteristics. Scammers often attack competitors to prevent their victims from looking elsewhere or questioning their own scam. In this presentation, we'll expose this deceptive tactic and analyze its purpose. What they said about Vibe. So I've taken a couple of the main themes, I feel, between Marty and Chris's little speeches that we just listened to, and why they're kind of trying to tell the people in OnPassive not to join this one, right? And I feel like we can kind of break it down to these three things. So the first one is Vibe is brand new and only costs $25. And that implies that it is unproven and cheap, which can be a red flag, right? Hello, Scam Chan. Good to see you. The next one is only the top people will make money. I feel like Marty particularly went on and on and on about that, right? And that suggests that it's a pyramid scheme where late joiners lose out. Also, the other theme, which was more, Chris showed this one more so than Marty did. But basically, the other theme in their speeches was that the owner of Vibe, right, the people that run Vibe, they don't care about you like Ash Mufara does. And that plays on emotions to make OnPassive seem like the superior option. They want to make Vibe look untrustworthy while ignoring the exact same issues with OnPassive. So the irony of these claims, of course, the Vibe is brand new one, is that OnPassive is in pre-launch for years. It's been in pre-launch since 2018, right? Collecting money until June 2022 while failing to deliver. So although it's been around since 2018, it's not like really not brand new. Like I pointed out, if these products ever do come into fruition here, they will be brand new products. It will be their first time actually launching, you know? So one could even argue that they're brand new. Also, $25 being cheap, okay. I guess, as Joe says, $97 is just right. Some might argue that even $97 is cheap. In fact, Marty and Chris themselves have made that claim on numerous occasions. So it's interesting that they are against VYB, mainly because of how new it is and the cost. In terms of them saying only the top people will make money, OnPassive operates with a pay-to-play model. Again, you have to buy in, and then after that, you also have to purchase the product in order to make commissions on that product that you can pull out of the wallet. If you don't purchase the product first, you're paid an O coin, right? So that is considered pay-to-play. And that's where earlier members actually do have an advantage in this kind of thing. The whole thing about the owner not caring, in my opinion, Ash Mufareh does not care about the people in OnPassive. Ash Mufareh has repeatedly ignored members' concerns, dodged transparency, and failed to provide the promised AI services. And like Marty says, people are not in a good spot right now. If he actually cared about them, I feel like he would have released the products by now, since they're done and all. So the same criticisms that Marty and Chris are using against VYB apply even more to OnPassive. $25 for this level of automation is above market value. So why do scammers discredit other scams? To control the narrative. If followers believe all other opportunities are scams, they stay locked in the current one. Again, this is the one that's the one, It's the one that's going to do it for me. All the other ones suck. And MLMs do this better than anyone else, in my opinion. MLMs, they'll come out and they'll be like, we failed at 50 MLMs. But you should trust us that this MLM is going to be awesome. And the people there will be like, oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, sign me up. And you're just like, what? What is going on? So they're just like so good at this. Like I said, people go from MLM to MLM to MLM, convincing themselves that they all suck, but the one they're in is the one. Joe says the products were done in 2020 per Ash in October 2020. Exactly. Yes, OConnect was allegedly a product in 2020. It is on the main list of the first 50 products. So that would have been the list that we would have been going by in 2020. For sure. It's also to keep their followers loyal. Scammers discourage questioning by painting competitors as worse. Right? They don't want you questioning their scam. They want you questioning the other scams. It eliminates the competition. If people join other scams, fewer victims remain to fund their existing scheme. And in this case, they're worried that people are going to start paying to make money in other things. They know that the people in OnPassive don't have lots and lots of money. And they're like, if they spend money on that, when this launches, what if they don't want to buy the OConnect then? You also have to remember Marty and Chris are at the top of this thing, so they're making money off of everyone underneath them, right? It also creates a false legitimacy, which we see them do with a lot of things, don't we? By calling out another scam, they seem honest and trustworthy to their audience. A lot of people watching in OnPassive will tell themselves, hey, these guys are the real deal because they're so cool that they're even warning us about scams. So there's no way that this is a scam because that would make no sense. It works. The reverse psychology with that works somehow. But you have to be smarter than that. So scammer hypocrisy is actually a term that we use. And why does it matter? So it's a classic distraction technique that people in all scams use. Scammers deflect attention from their own fraudulent activities. It really is a, hey, look over there kind of thing. Creates false credibility. Again, by criticizing another scam, they appear knowledgeable and trustworthy and transparent. It plays on emotions. They use fear, doubt, and misplaced loyalty to keep victims engaged. And that's why Marty and Chris are constantly going on about loyalty. And this is supposed to signal to them, you don't want to be seen as someone who's not loyal. Nobody does. Like, why would you want that, right? Not anyone wants to be seen as someone who is not loyal. All of us want to be seen as people that are loyal. So it puts this thought into the people's heads in OnPassive that are watching these lives that Marty and Chris do, right? Oh, I don't want to be seen as someone who's not loyal. And if I leave now, it's going to look like I'm not a loyal person and that I haven't been loyal to Ash Mufar. And I don't want anyone to think that about me. So I'm going to stay just to prove that I'm loyal. And that literally keeps people engaged in the scam. And that's also how they keep people coming back to their webinars, right? So why this matters. Victims may double down on the original scam, believing it is their only legit option. Scammers can prolong their con, making it harder for people to escape. And if we know there's one thing that OnPassive wants to do, it's prolong this. All right. We really do believe that they're trying to kind of make this go until after the SEC case, because in Ash Mufarah's mind and in the O founders' minds, the SEC case has already been won by all of them. They seem to think that they're going to win this case really easily. So they're like, oh, if we just keep this thing going until, April 2026, then it'll be all good. The SEC will go away. It'll be wonderful. We won't have to worry about anything. Because again, they want to put a director's bar on Ash. So that could stop him also from doing the On Fusion T thing, right? And also this tactic prevents critical thinking, which they definitely want to do, ensuring that followers stay financially and emotionally invested. Again, don't spend your money over there. We need you to keep your money for when it comes time for you to spend it over here. Don't forget, as soon as this thing starts happening for the people in OnPassive, Ash is going to have his hand out again saying, now you have to pay for OConnect. That is one of the first things that I'm sure is going to be done. So they don't want you spending your money elsewhere. They want you to keep it for OConnect. And then, of course, they just emotionally manipulating these people at every chance they can get, using faith manipulation, using other people's sad stories, and just, it must feel like you're on a roller coaster ride, being an O founder in OnPassive, just constantly up and down, being pulled here and there, being let down every few months. It just must be awful. So how to spot this tactic? Consider the source. If a scam leader calls another scheme fraudulent, examine their own business model. Is it similar? Is it the same? Are they all MLMs? Because, look for patterns. Pyramid schemes always claim that only other pyramid schemes are scams. This is what they do. Follow the money. If a scheme only profits top members, it's not a sustainable business. MLM companies are known to only benefit those in the top 1 to 2%. Marty and Chris will make this statement themselves several times during webinars. Several times. So I'm using even their statement here. They know this. And this is an MLM. They're positioned at the top of this thing. So once again, They don't want you to leave because they're going to make money off of you, right? If you leave, they make less money. Hello, Jim. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Nothing brings the tears like the advertising on the Burge when Ash revealed it, right? That was also to legitimize it. What's the best way to serve on Fusion tea? Iced or hot? Asking the important questions. Probably iced. Just like Ash's heart, you know? Check for real value. Real value, though. Is there a real product or service being sold? Or just recruitment-based earnings? Again, OnPassive doesn't have a product either right now. And then they're not even recruiting. They're doing less than VYB. You know? So what are we doing? You know, why is Marty and Chris out here even talking about that? There is no real value in either of these companies. All right? None. None. And in VYB, you do get paid for recruiting, and that is a pyramid scheme. Here, you just sit around and wait. So you're not getting very far. There's not much value. I guess some of them find value in the community, in praying for each other. But outside of that, there is no value. And for most people, that's not going to be enough. Why cults discredit other cults? Again, very similar. Maintaining control. Cult leaders want their followers to remain isolated and dependent on them. That's a major reason why, like, Marty and Chris don't want you to join something else and then actually start making a little bit of money there, because it might get you to not just be all in a non-passive anymore. They want to have full control over you. Fear and mistrust. By labeling other groups as dangerous, cults prevent members from exploring outside ideas. Because once they start to explore outside ideas, they might see what's going on inside the cult a little bit differently. We don't want any of that. That would be awful. And that brings us to our next one, which is one that I talk about here a lot. The us versus them mentality. Very, very strong. Very strong in all cults, but especially these MLM ones, you know? Cults convince members they are part of an elite group. And all outsiders, especially similar groups, are deceptive. Right? And there is an us versus them mentality. We're the naysayers. They're the good guys in their mind, right? They've created an evil person to go up against. And the funny thing is, we don't even like see them as an enemy. We're just like, this is a scam. If they're going to run a business, they need to do it ethically. They need to follow the laws. They need to actually provide what they promise to people. It's cruel to use a lot of these manipulation tactics. Don't be like a cult. You know, that's all we want. Maybe sounds like we're asking for a lot, like you have to change your entire business and everything. And, you know, that might sound like a lot, but we're not out here like, those people are evil, rah, rah, you know? So you got to be really weary of the us versus them mentality thing. Suppressing doubt. If members see contradictions in their own group, but hear worse things about others, they may ignore red flags. And that's why, oh, well, theirs is only $25. Yes, ours is $95. That's a little better, right? You know, you'll actually get something worth it for that amount. Still under 100, you know? But enough that we can make it look decent. Also, don't mind the fact that we have the exact same business plan and the exact same products that I'm now telling you won't make you any money over there. Don't listen to that. They're just really bad at it. We're way better. Religious, political, and financial cults often attack competitors to keep their followers from switching allegiances, right? They don't want them to start following Megan and Reagan Lynch and forget all about Mr. Ash Mufareh, Lord of the Internet. That would be awful. Did Keith join Vibe yet? We haven't seen him yet, but don't worry. We're keeping track of who's joining, and when we see names we recognize, we take note. Stupid people especially like being a part of elite groups. Right. And they do a lot of that here with the whole like early bird special where all the O founders, everyone who joins is joining after us and will be placed under us, blah, 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 right? Darth Karma has a nice ring to it. Okay. Back in the 70s, we used to say, my dad is bigger than your dad. So these days, my scam is bigger than your scam. Every warning about OnPassive is a red flag. Exactly. Why does this matter? Victims may want to prove their loyalty to the cult more so when they are compared to others. You know, you guys are watching this and you're like, wake up, sheeple. But somehow it has the opposite effect. Oftentimes when people like Marty and Chris go on these rants, cult leaders tell them they have already invested, so why leave now? So they stay and FOMO. You'll often hear them say things like, well, you've already spent 6 years here. So like you've already invested all this time and energy and some of your money in this thing. So why would you even want to go and invest any time, energy, or money elsewhere? You're already invested here. Also, FOMO, the fear of missing out. Very strong in MLMs. They all seem to think that the day after they leave is the day that everyone in the scam is going to become a multimillionaire. And it's a very strong feeling that they have. It's not just a thought. It literally, they feel it with their whole beings. Like, I cannot leave this thing. Because what if literally I leave today and then tomorrow Ash drops all these products? And this is also why they won't give a real date. Or if they do give a real date, they move the date. It's also why doomsday cults do the same thing with the date of the end of the world, right? That way, they can just keep moving it around. And then you'll never leave. You'll never know, you know? What if he does drop it tomorrow, though? Just constantly on the edge of your seat. Hi, Retro. I'm good. How are you? This tactic prevents critical thinking again. All right, they really don't like critical thinking in cults or these scams. Ensuring followers stay financially and emotionally invested. And again, isolated from everyone else. So how to spot this tactic now? Consider the source. If the person telling you not to trust other cults is higher up in this cult, they benefit from your membership. Look for patterns. Cults always claim that their group will get you closer to God. Like with most religions, theirs is the correct one. Be wary as well of delusions of grandeur in leaders. Like when Ash says, I was sent by God. You know, it's like, why is this one the one? You know? It's weird. It's weird. Thanks, Chuck. Have a good one. That's awesome, Retro. Did you hear Megan wants people who columns to call her, what, legend? She goes by legend in her scam, which is weird. You know? It's weird. Mark B says, FOMO is a really big factor. My OnPassive friend admitted to being terrified of the thought of leaving a scam and finding out he's missed out on becoming a millionaire. Exactly. It's huge. And it's kind of like the root of how they do manipulate and keep people in. And then all the other tactics are kind of to keep the FOMO going, you know? It's one of the strongest things that keeps people here. Like I said, it's not just a thought, it's like a whole feeling where your whole body feels this way. Very strong, you know? Hit the thumbs up button. People who use pay pros or columns must call her. Oh, okay, probably because she's being investigated. Most likely. Also, once you lose one merchant, it starts to get hard to get another one. You know? That's the thing. So she's probably having a bit of trouble, just like Ash is, right? Just like Ash is. So follow the money. Do the people in the cult make some sort of profit from your membership or membership? Yeah, from your membership. From your membership or from you buying products. Again, they're making a profit from your membership or from products or from recruiting or etc. Maybe get another opinion from somebody else. Again, it's always good to have a third party, somebody outside of the cult, the scam, the business opportunity, the community, whatever you want to call it, and go, hey, please take a look at this and let me know. You know, just let me know what you think. Do you think that this is something that I should invest some time and money into? Hear what they have to say. Because the people in it are, of course, going to tell you whatever you need to hear to get you to join, to keep you in it, to not have you question things, right? Check for real value. What are you to benefit from this cult? Is it just the community? Could you find this support elsewhere? Maybe more locally, in your real life. You know? Is it something that you really need? And is it something that you can only get from this group of people? You really got to ask yourself that. Be wary of isolation tactics. If a group discourages independent research, it may be controlling the narrative. You know, like if it tells you that Google is a search engine and not a truth engine, don't Google the company. Don't look up information. Don't see what the naysayers are saying. Blah, 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 blah. You know? Also, be wary of isolation from friends and family. Never replace them with members of a cult. Helm says, I can't find that support elsewhere. No one likes me. We love you, Alps. I keep telling you guys and the public, the world, whoever watches this, the 10 people that watch me, I keep telling you, if somebody ever says to you, don't talk to your friends and family, don't talk to them anymore. They're the one you shouldn't be talking to. All right? People that actually care about you will try to foster a healthy relationship amongst you and your other friends, amongst you and your family. All right? They should be people that if you're going to them with a problem with a family member or a friend, they're not putting a wedge between you and that person. They're trying to help you figure out how to fix things. All right? So if you're going to your family and friends and you're telling them about this business opportunity and they're like, no, this sounds kind of scammy, I don't want to join it. And then you go back to this group and you tell them that and they say, oh, well, your family obviously doesn't care about you that much. They sound like they're really just trying to bring you down. You should totally stop talking to that person. And then when this takes off, I promise you, they'll get a hold of you and they'll want to join it too. Why do they have to join for you to talk to them? They're your family. Maybe you should listen to your family and why they're worried about this more than you should be listening to a stranger in this who benefits from you being in it as well. right? That's what you should be weary of. Always, always kind of turn away from any community that does that. So in conclusion, scammers don't call out scams to help you. They do it to protect their own scam. OnPassive calling VYB a scam is pure hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy, I tell you. They both rely on deception and false promises. And right now, neither has a product. Cult-like groups, including scams like commercial cults such as MLMs or financial cults, I guess they're also referred to as, discredit similar organizations to maintain control of you within their organization. If only a select few benefit while most lose, it's a scam no matter who runs it. No matter who runs it, it's a scam. But then don't worry.
Don't panic.
Because you can educate yourself and know how to spot the signs and try to protect yourself from it. If you are in a community setting and they call themselves family and isolate you from reality, you are in a cult. Always research and research outside of the group. Ask questions. And if you're in a community that doesn't foster asking questions, that's a problem. That's a problem. You should be allowed to ask questions. So again, that's another huge red flag. If they're like, don't ask any questions, just accept whatever we give you, that's a red flag. And always think critically before trusting any opportunity. And at this point, any community, really. Okay? Even out here on the YouTubes, all right? You'd be surprised how many YouTube commentary communities are very culty. Please do like and subscribe for more scam awareness and education. I like to do this here. Try to do something semi-educational at least once a week, if I can. And I hope you appreciated that. So that is when scammers call out scams. The OnPassive versus VYB hypocrisy and why it's happening. It's all just aroused to keep people in OnPassive. Marty and Chris are constantly horrified that people are leaving. And they're kind of flipping out a little bit about how people might be leaving because they see them joining this thing. And they're like, oh no, we're going to lose our control. And what if they buy stuff over there instead of here? And what if they go to their webinars instead of watching our YouTube videos? You know, and they're just lashing out. They're just lashing out. That's what it is. So going forward, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of it. Get used to it, folks. I'm sure Chris was strong talking about them of stop going there to VYB. Yeah, he basically also got very upset, right? So both of them are kind of going hard on the please don't join that scam or that cult, stay in ours. And they're going to continue to. They've done it before. This isn't the first time. It's just kind of interesting because we have been covering VYB as well. Like I said, I'm here for OnPassive versus VYB. I want to see who's going to release these products first. And for all we know, it could be VYB. So that would be interesting, as we talked about earlier, if that does happen. Tomorrow we will be doing a Friday. It will probably be in the mid-afternoon again, so stay tuned in the community tab for that. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'll be covering Marty and Chris as we go forward. I'm also really trying to finish up getting this deep dive on Dr. Benny done, so I'm hoping that we can do that in the next week or so. But we are going to do some Friday with the Sayers of Nay tomorrow, so look forward to that. Thank you so much for sitting through this with me, especially since I know a lot of you guys have already watched this because I got lots of messages about it. So I hope that explains what's going on, what they're doing, why it's working, why people aren't leaving OnPassive suddenly because they're saying these things. And I feel like maybe then, if you have more understanding of what's going on, then maybe we won't be so frustrated when we're watching it. Because I, too, am sitting there yelling at the screen. What do you mean? It's the exact same thing. How is yours different? Blah! So I hear you. I love all of your faces, and I will see you all tomorrow for Friday, my sayers and nay. Again, stay tuned to the community tab. I am posting all kinds of fun stuff over there. So, go and check it out. Give it a like. Helps the algorithm. I am doing a lot of spreading awareness about cult tactics and manipulation tactics and scammy things. So please do go and visit over there, and I will see you all tomorrow. Mwah! Bye! And like always, we're in it.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke. If that's a call. Hey.
And I'm your friend.
That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara. If you're rude, if you've been doubting or spying, or we know who you are.
Stop going there. She wants to be the first to make us look silly. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there asking for a debate. That's the lady I brought on. Her debate was screaming at Ash. And another Queen of Karma asking about why don't we answer the question about religion. I think we've answered that over and over again.
I've been answering them all morning long. It's not the answer you want, but
Yeah.
call me Reverend Jim Jones, okay? Let's go to Guyana, all right? No joke.
Alright, this is a great way to start your day. Come here and tune in to Crazy and talking about your experiences.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
I'm Mike Ellis, by the way.
Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow on Friday. Bye. Take it away.
Stop going there. That negative YouTube channel has got more followers on it than I do on my own. And it breaks my heart.
And I'm your friend. My name is Ash Mufara.
Stop going there. Yeah, Queen of Karma's on there.
My name is Ash Mufara, and I'm your friend.
Let's go to Guyana.